some ideas. So let's go for somewhere. Yeah, go on then, Laura.
Believing in God.
Believing in God. Okay.
Do you recognise the font, by the way?
Simpson font.
Well done for reading it off the top, everyone. You didn't think that one through. Anyway. Okay, let's go somewhere else. Come on then, which one?
Trust.
Trust. Brilliant choice. I wonder why that was a brilliant choice. Any others? Ed?
Faith.
Faith. Brilliant. Any more? Must have been more than 3. Ed again.
Jesus' power of nature.
Jesus' power over nature. Brilliant.
That is the line you saw apostrophe, isn't it?
Indeed.
You learned.
Okay, and one more. Come on. Let's have something from the middle, boys. You must have come up with something. Mark? No?
What we were discussing now. Daniel, I could do it. He's a magician.
Fear, I think.
Fear. Brilliant choices. Cool. Well, they're the sort of themes that Luke and I have picked up as we were planning this. So instead of just listening to me today, because we all know you guys get quite bored of me, Luke's going to do half and I'm going to do half. So we've both sort of written 2 short talks. So I'm just going to read part of that passage again to you before I start my half. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage. It is I, do not be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink, crying out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" I suppose what I took from this is the idea of trusting in the impossible. I went to see Mission Impossible with my brother. And I love Mission Impossible to begin with, because I just think it's brilliant. And I know they always say this, if you choose to accept this mission and all of this. And sort of in life, I don't know if you guys feel that, but some days I have that feeling. If I wake up and I sort of go, I've got an exam today, or I've got coursework, I've got this, that and the other, and it just seems impossible. But I know we have to trust through it. I'm going to take it a bit further, share a little bit of my testimony with you guys. In about August 2010, I was diagnosed with depression, which I'm not going to go into all the highs away with, but I felt absolutely awful. And there were some days during that summer holiday when I sort of went, I can't get up. And this wasn't I can't get up because my bed was lovely and warm and I wanted to stay there. It was I couldn't bring my body to get up. But I'm sure if I told you guys this, most of you would probably be going, but hang on, he's here now, he's up, he's talking about it, he's happy, he's quite, what's the word?
Exuberant.
Exuberant, thank you. And if anyone ever asks me, how did you get here, Simon? I'd always say, I trusted in the impossible. For when there was no light at the end of the tunnel that I could see, when I just couldn't even see to the next hour, I had an amazing set of people around me, not only my family, but my friends from church, my friends from Scripture Union, that we're going to talk a bit about later, maybe next week, who helped me through. And I felt that, yeah, I took a step out of the boat. And I began to sink, but God came for me straight away. See, I had a fear in my life, and I let that fear take over me. But I stood up and took full potential of Jesus' power over nature, over everything, gave my life into his hands like Peter did in the water. It was a real challenge of my faith. I didn't feel I had faith for some of that time, but by all of this, I felt my faith was strengthened. But the two most important things is I had to trust in God. I had to trust in the people around me. When they said, we're going to come pick you up at 9 o'clock tomorrow and we're going to take you shopping, I had to trust they were going to be there and not let me down. But above all, and I'd say this for any moment in your life where you feel you're abandoned, you have to believe in God and trust in the impossible.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So mine's following on a bit from what Simon has said about trusting in the impossible. Now Simon himself, during his summer, having depression, took a huge risk in trusting all these people because there was every chance that they could hurt him by not turning up when they said they want to go shopping, leaving him just broken with no way out. Now, it's very similar, trusting in God. It's very easy to say when you're sat on the boat or sat in your safe, secure place, I can trust in God, I'm trusting in God right now. But to truly trust in God, you have to do what Peter did and take the step out of the boat. Put yourself into the hands of God. Take that risk in order to benefit from God's true love. You're putting yourself into this place of fear and place of danger. But you are in God's arms. Now, God isn't going to just say, yep, I'll just hold you forever and ever, because Jesus himself was put to the test by the devil in the desert. Was it Luke?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. And sorry. And there he had the chance to just easily do all these things that the devil challenged him to do, but he trusted in God. But he didn't expect God to do it all for him. And he said, you will not put your God to the test. We had a lot of trouble with this topic, the risk of trusting in God, because it was hard to come off without it sounding negative. There is a risk in trusting in God, but the benefit of that risk is God's infinite love. Okay? We're now going to do a little activity where we'd like you to pair up with someone that you don't know or don't talk to very much and pray for each other. Trust them to truly speak to God for you. Okay, guys? So we'd like you to do that now, please.
I know, you're brilliant. You're coming to do this now. Thank you so much for coming today and just trusting in each other and just going for each other. And I think what Luke and I really feel as two Christians is it's so important to just pray with one another, whether you know them or not. So we really do encourage you here to try and pray with your friends, but also pray with different people and just make sure everyone knows each other's face here, because that's what a community is, Christian community. So next week it is
Blake will be
doing a talk on...
Where's the crowd?
it's a guest event next week, which means that it's sort of Christianity basics, which for those that think, I go to church quite a lot, I might have heard it before, well actually it's a chance for you to bring a friend along to that. It's about incarnation and what that means for us. So Jesus, why did he come to earth, essentially? Why did he come to earth? What was the whole point of it? If you think, oh, I've heard it all before, it's actually really good to go back to basics. I think it's like anything in sport or music, anything you do, go back to the basics, and actually it's amazing how much you could get from it. So it'd be great for the regulars amongst you, but also it really is a chance to say, look, bring a friend along to Ichthus. It'd be nice and relaxed, but a good, clear message for us to take into half term. So a little guest event before half term. Can I just say thank you to the sixth formers, and can you thank the sixth formers for a really good effort? And I think it's said quite a lot for me, I think, over the next week about how when we make ourselves smaller, actually God becomes bigger and we learn to trust more. So when life's difficult, sometimes that's when our trust is really there. And I think the challenge is to try and make ourselves humble so that God is really strong throughout. I think when life's going really well, it's actually that much harder to trust God because you learn to trust yourself more. So it's a challenge for me just to humble myself over the next week to make sure God can do amazing things as he has done in Simon's life and as he will do in all of ours. Let me just pray.